The Late Shift. Welcome to PK BookSmarts, your go-to channel for the most chilling tales and suspenseful stories. Tonight, we're diving into the experience of Misha, a college student whose routine walk through what seems like a safe neighborhood turns into a nightmare she'll never forget. If you enjoy the story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to PK BookSmarts on all social platforms. Your support helps us keep the chills coming. Now, sit back and brace yourself for The Forest Acres Incident, Part 1. Misha sighed as she clocked out at 11:30 p.m., much later than usual. The fluorescent lights of Walmart buzzed faintly overhead as she rubbed her tired eyes. It had been a long day of dealing with customers and stocking shelves, and all she wanted was to get back to her dorm at Benedict College and collapse into bed. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She pulled it out to check her Uber ride status, only to see that the car was 5 minutes away. Perfect. She stepped outside into the cool night air, the parking lot mostly empty except for a few scattered cars under the harsh glare of the overhead lights. Misha leaned against the wall, her breath forming small clouds in the chill. Fort Jackson loomed in the distance, a silent sentinel against the night sky. The lights from the base flickered faintly, providing a weak sense of comfort. She glanced around, feeling that familiar twinge of unease that came with being alone at night, but she brushed it off. It was Forest Acres. Nothing bad ever happened here. Soon enough, the Uber pulled up, and Misha climbed into the back seat. The driver, an older man with a kind smile, greeted her politely. The car smelled of lavender air freshener, and soft jazz played from the radio. As they pulled out of the parking lot, Misha relaxed, thinking about how nice it would be to finally get back to her dorm. Misha was dozing off in the back seat when the car suddenly lurched, jostling her awake. The engine sputtered and then died altogether, leaving them in the middle of a dimly lit residential street. The driver cursed under his breath, trying to restart the engine, but it wouldn't turn over. "I'm so sorry about this," the driver said, his voice laced with frustration. "It's never done this before." Misha checked her phone. It was already past midnight, and she had an early class the next morning. "How far are we from Benedict?" she asked, trying to keep the worry out of her voice. "About 20 minutes by foot," the driver replied. "It's a nice neighborhood, though. Should be safe to walk if you're up for it." Misha hesitated. She didn't relish the idea of walking alone at night, but it was getting late, and she didn't want to wait for another Uber. Forest Acres had always been known as a safe area. At least, that's what she'd always heard. She nodded. "I'll walk. Thanks for the ride." The driver apologized again as she climbed out of the car. The neighborhood around her was quiet, the houses dark and still. Misha pulled her jacket tighter around her, glancing at the quaint homes and neatly trimmed lawns. It all seemed so peaceful. End of Part 1. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to PK BookSmarts on all social platforms so you don't miss the chilling conclusion in Part 2 of The Forest Acres Incident. Stay tuned.